Jacinta, about these alcohol management plans. I understand they'll have to be voted on by all residents. Now, why wouldn't women and vulnerable residents in the ballot process be bullied into voting in favour of booze going back into their communities? Who'll stop that?
Well, so in terms of the territory government, they're proposing in their legislation that they would offer a vote for those communities to have those alcohol management plans. My proposal differs in that if they want an alcohol management plan, then a committee must be formed with stakeholders, equitable representation of both women and men drinkers and non-drinkers, experts, the Liquor Commission, in order to do that, because I think it's that process that will decide whether those plans will be effective or not.
Are you confident that some machinery will exist to stop the fear and intimidation that will be directed at non-drinkers by those who want the alcohol bans to be lifted?
Look, that is what that whole process will be about, and ultimately it'll be about the minister then having oversight and saying, okay, this is thorough. It has given a voice to everybody in the community and can go, yes, this is approved. But if there is people in that community that are really deeply concerned, their voices will be heard within that particular process.
If there are people living, if there are people just living in what you call these hellholes, and they're cut off from takeaway alcohol, are they going to come into town, which is where the problems are at the moment?
So at the moment, within those vulnerable town camps and communities, alcohol is available. It can be drunk in those places. The measures that I propose in this bill would address the issue of the black market sale of alcohol, and there would be basically people who wanted to commit that crime would obviously be prosecuted for those crimes. So there will be measures in place for that within this bill. Now, my bill is not going to be a silver bullet. It's a measure. It's one measure, and there needs to be a whole raft of measures, a suite of measures. Our police force needs to be better resourced and supported. In fact, I would call for our Chief Commissioner, the Commissioner of Police, to probably step down, because he, under his watch, this has deteriorated as well, but he still remains in that position.
Yes, I mean, just so that our viewers know on that, I mean, the assaults we're talking about in this recent report, this Dorella Anderson report, which was presented, identified assaults on women, this is horrific, who present to hospital with horrific facial injuries, broken bones, fractured skulls, and then, of course, in tragic situations, even death. Jacinta, when is this going to stop?
Well, this is going to stop when we treat Australians equally instead of along the lines of race, and we're not afraid to talk about why this has come about. When we're not afraid to ask members of our most vulnerable community to take responsibility for what's going on, and we're not afraid to actually reinforce things like the fact that, children should be attending school, and if they're not and their families are failing them and they're suffering abuse, they should be allowed to be cared for in families that are upholding their human rights. And adoption should be available to those children to have that permanent care status, stable families.